just exists as a brute fact. That is it just exists. There's no explanation for it. It just exists.
Because then it's not physical. Physical presumes that it has something behind it.
No, I'm unaware of any definition of physical entailing that it has some physical cause behind it.
It must have physical
Maybe it would
properties.
help the discussion. Maybe it would help the discussion if you both defined what you mean by physicalism, because it sounds like you have different ideas and you're just gonna end up talking past each other. It's like, what do you mean by physical?
Well, what I mean by physical is just that there is some processes that underlie that are I suppose it's a hard way to describe. It is hard to describe it, but there are underlying processes that that follow strict rules and ordered in a sense, and it's not necessarily physicalism in the terms of materialism, like things are all physical and hard like a wall or anything like that, because we have underlying physical structures in the form of our of light and different underlying physical processes. So that's kind of, it's more the sort of that angle that I'm talking about.
So it just doesn't mean anything on your head.
Sorry?
Actually, the definition wasn't bad. It was just saying that there's some like unified set of clauses that all for anything in the universe can follow it.
It has to be like
natural
universal.
laws.
It has to be universal because you can grant that such things do exist, but the physicalist is just saying that's all of the things that exist are found within that framework. And so it's kind of like
what London just said is that there is a set of natural laws, and that for any object that exists, it follows.
Energy, matter, and laws is the sum total of existence, right? That's at the physicalist point.
Yeah, and everything is subject. All things that exist are subject to those.
Yeah, but I think you need that within the universe clause for that, right?
What's that?
I think you need that within the universe clause.
Depending on what you mean by universe, presumably everything in the universe, so I'm not sure where that would be a necessary clause.
Why did David say something physical always exists and then wouldn't be part of physicalism anymore? That part I did not. So if there was a physical object that always was, why would that not violate? So you just didn't know what he's talking about.
Exactly.
Well, like a brute fact
Wouldn't be problematic on physicalism either if the law is allowed for non-determinism. Like presumably the laws of quantum mechanics are natural laws, but the laws of quantum mechanics allow for indeterminacy.
yeah, I don't know.
It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be very weird for someone to say that like virtual particles are non-natural.
Yeah, but as soon as it gets into quantum
Radiation is magic.
Eric, say and let Grall finish.
all that stuff, when people say indeterminate, I just like, maybe I'm just stupid, but I'm just like, I'm always in a position that means indeterminable, not indeterminate, meaning that, like, it's just, because we use the same mathematics and finance to model the position of an electron to model randomness, and it is just a model. It is not saying like this is a true model of reality. It approximates reality, and then like if you build anything on top of that, you're going and then calling it, oh, we know that it can't be known. It's like, well, no, we just don't know how to know it. You know what I mean? So all this, when people invoke quantum physics to talk about like, again, it's probably just my own ignorance, but I have a hard time like following any therefores after quantum mechanics.
People who talk about quantum physics should reconsider their life choices.
If you think you know,
You should discuss that with your caretaker.
about quantum physics. Oh my god.
No one knows what to say.
So what was that whole schizophrenic thing someone was saying? What the hell is that about? It seems super random.
Oh, I think that David guy like raped some schizophrenic girl. That's what
confirmed,
he
or is
said.
it just like hearsay?
No, I mean that's what he said. So like, I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to brag.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm schizophrenic and I am too.
Yeah, I get it.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
Is that like a?
a?
Is that like an argument about consent, or like he was saying that like he held this girl down against her will?
You gotta remember
You know.
now.
Well,
Is it an argument
she's
like, oh,
she's
can
schizophrenic, right? So like, she doesn't really have, she's not really in touch with reality. So I don't see how she would consent.
I don't know. I've known a few schizophrenics. They can consent to things. It's just the catatonic schizophrenics that cannot, like the ones who really, really don't know where they are, that like can't speak and stuff. But
Yeah, but Canadian's description kind of seemed to indicate that she wasn't really like in touch with reality. So.
yeah, I mean, it's okay to be like not in touch with reality. I'm not. I can still give consent,
Well, I mean,
right? Like I believe in a creator God. I'm heading down to church to go worship him right now. Can I give consent?
I don't think I want to talk to you.
I don't want to consent to this conversation.
Because after a seemingly nomological modality, as a subset of logical modality, is going to be narrower by at least one proposition, and nomological modality would be like the limit of everything at the actual world on that view that London forwarded.
This guy ain't speaking
I don't really
English.
get what Lana was saying though.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
you
he's just saying that there's some set of of natural laws which are just like ex ante specifiable clauses that govern everything that exists.
Why, but why couldn't that like? I don't see how that's incompatible with a god.
Well,
What are you even saying?
I mean, violating those things doesn't entail a contradiction. And if God is something that can actualize any logically possible world, then he can actualize worlds where those things are violated.
Like, if there's a god, then the natural laws just don't exist.
Huh?
I feel like if there's a god, then they're like, I don't see how
There just are no natural laws? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm?
Yes, but I mean, you could still like kind of say that. I mean, it's like compatible with physicalist description that like there are no laws of physics, right? Like we could just discover.
Well, that's
that,
just
like,
a different sense of physicalism. What would you be using?
Well, I mean, like.
Is this predicated on the idea that, just really quickly, I just want to ask a question. Is this predicated on the idea that miracles are like violations of those laws or something?
How come we think we have logic fully understood? So we don't understand. Something might appear to be a contradiction to human logic, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a contradiction to God. So, what the fuck? Like, I think God transcends human logic, and as Paul said, the words of the wise are futile, and God says, motherfucker.
What's that?
Wouldn't that just be like a different sense of miracle, though?
No. I mean,
Cool.
unless you're just defining miracle as a violation of the laws of physics, then I mean, it's just like there's no argument then because that's just what the word means. But I assume that like you're not going to do that, right? You're not going
I
to
have
do
to
that.
talk into the
I'll just define God as existing. And fuck it, we're all done, right?
I have to get
So I
my
figure you're
mouth
not going
touched
to
with
play.
We're
the
not.
microphone, I
No one
guess.
was making arguments. Sasha was just asking why it is that London's account of physicalism was incompatible with their.
No, I thought he made a claim. I thought he said something like, if God existed, there couldn't be laws of nature or some shit like that. Did I miss you? I might have misheard.
No,
Maybe?
that is what I think. That is what I think. It's like.
Yeah, okay. But I was asking on the ground.
But yeah, I said these people are fucking retards. Philosophers, they get philosophical to the point of stupidity, I think. So, like, for example, they're talking about God and the laws of logic and how God can't contradict the laws of logic. That's foolish. Like, as if us humans have figured out logic to the point where we can point out like God could. It might not be a contradiction to God, where like we see it as a contradiction because we're limited humans, right? And God isn't limited by our puny logic. And these people think they are fucking gods because their ego and their pride has gone to their intellectual mind. And that's the thing. What's up, Matrix Meteor?
Where it doesn't, right? And so if that's just all you mean, yeah, then I have a paper that shows that that's false. I probably couldn't articulate it other than like a very, very general sketch, but like I said, I presented it to realistic nihilist, and he thought that it got to that. He agreed that it got to that, but but it's something like it's predicated on a view of quantum mechanics called something like a GRW hit. And I don't know exactly what that is, but it's some type of interpretation of quantum mechanics that's actually pretty popular. And then you could take those GRW hits and you could transport matter from one location to another, and it's perfectly compatible with the laws of physics, right? And or for something from one place to pop in, or from some other like if Jesus really died or something like that, and his body then becomes back whole and all the systems become operating and all that stuff, like all of that's compatible with this theory of quantum mechanics that just says that one of these GRW hits could occur and it could transport matter from one place instantaneously to another, and the construction of that matter doesn't violate the laws of physics. So it could be the case, and all you need is just a matter to come from somewhere. And he was just saying that the GRW hit could be performed on a celestial body in the Andromeda galaxy or something, and it wouldn't violate the laws of physics because it wouldn't come from nowhere or something like that. And then it was just saying that.
But then God could just make it so that it comes from nowhere. Right? Seems like God can just like change the laws of physics even on that view. Right? Like,
what's that? No. I'm just saying that there's a view in which they can be compatible, right? And
look, that's still presupposing that there is some matter that like you take it from, right? And I'm just saying that God could make it so that like, you know, it just pops out of nothing.
I'm not sure what you're saying. Are you saying he can do that, or he could do that, or?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not what's being contested. That's not being contested that under some other model that miracles wouldn't be the case. I'm just saying there is a model by which miracles could still exist, and there's been no violation of any laws of physics at all. Now, you're just postulating a different system, right, in which the way he did it wasn't through a GRW hit, wasn't through utilizing...
No. I'm saying that, like, what the law of physics is that it's like a universal generalization, right? So it's like it holds at all times and all places, right? So whatever laws of physics we posit, right? Whether it's like, I don't know, gravity, whether it's those GR hits that take matter from somewhere else, God could at any point suspend them and make it so that they don't hold at all times, right? They don't hold at this time, right? So that's the point.
Yeah, but I'm not. I thought I was just trying to give you a way in which you could have the laws of physics not being violated, and all the miracles of which are ascribed to, like the Christian God, could be the case, and none of it was violated.
But you were responding to what I said earlier, right? Like on Christianity, there are no laws of physics, right? And I'm not saying that because of miracles.
Oh, I thought you said that on the grounds that there are going to be some instances of violations of the laws of physics, and any violation would just follow that it wasn't a law. And what I'm just saying is, it's not on the ground. So you're saying it's not on the grounds of miracles; it's on the grounds that God could possibly do it another way.
No. Now you're saying that what I meant by miracle is a violation of the laws of physics. And you said that you are not willing to work with the definition because then you're just gonna define God into existence, right? Which I'm not sure even like how that would work. But
no, I'm just saying I don't. It's trivial at that point. Like I couldn't argue against something if it's just analytically.
I understand, right?
It's not even an argument capable of being happening at that point.
Yeah, but
and I'm saying like you wouldn't want to do it that way. You wouldn't want to play the card that way because that would just be like, hey, I'm defining God as existent. Go ahead, try to argue with me about God not existing. Or you know what I mean? It just doesn't seem like a kind of a neutral.
That seems to be like the most plausible account of what a miracle even is. Like, miracles are supposed to be like. I mean, I take it that like if you argue for something like resurrection is evidence for God or something, like you're gonna say that it's because the best explanation is God. But if you have a naturalist explanation, it just seems like we would prefer that, right?
Yeah, I'm not even going that far. I'm not talking about explanations or competing hypotheses or which one better explains. I'm just talking about conceptual compatibility between miracles that are ascribed to the Christian God and them still being able to be the case without any violations of the laws of physics.
I'm just saying that if it's not a violation of the laws of physics, then I don't see like what the miracle is for, right? Like, why would you say that God was involved at all?
What's that?
Like, if you're just saying it's not a violation of the laws of physics, like why involve God at all? Like, I thought miracles were supposed to be like those things that kind of, I don't know, give evidence, give like testimony to God existing. But if you're gonna say it's actually compatible with a naturalist explanation, it just seems like a defeater for like that thesis. You're saying that like miracles cannot actually give you like support for God existing. I don't see like why you would.
Well, what I'm saying is I'm not like that's not the purpose of what I'm speaking of, and I don't really have a position that I'd be, willing to put on the table about that. So like I think that's an ancillary concern, and like I said, that's not a conversation I'm trying to have or that I'm even whatever. I'm just saying, and it seems that seems to be an ancillary concern is all I'm saying. And I didn't come in here because I never piped up because I have some, I can go all the way down and we can talk about that.
What does ancillarily mean?
Here, let me see if I can link this paper as well, just so it'll be in the chat.
I don't understand your $5 words.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this guy down a bit. Well, yeah. So, like, what's the definition of a miracle that you want to work with?
I'm not even sure that I'm employing some like rigorous definition. I'm just saying like shit like Jesus turning water into wine, Jesus raising from the dead, fucking Lazarus raising from the dead, feeding the 5,000. That's all I'm saying. Like, let's just.
Okay.
I'm not really interested in rigorously defining. I'm just saying those things right there are completely possible without violating laws.
This guy's name is Shamos.
Okay, so you're saying that you could give a.
How do you call yourself Shamos if you don't have any shame?
All right, hold on. I gotta mute this guy too because it's getting bad. Hold on. Who is it?
Ancillarily mean? Why can't you just tell me?
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Why can't you just
all right, go ahead. He's muted. Go ahead.
Okay, so you're saying that.
Who is this guy talking? Is that P Mars?
Yeah.
So you're saying that.
Better be careful.
Right, P Mars. Last warning, or you're gonna get muted.
Okay. What's my train of thought now? I was gonna say that. Oh yeah, you're saying that for those miracles, like Jesus raising from the dead, turning water into wine, I don't know, Moses splitting the rivers, like you could just give a naturalistic explanation, right? But I don't get like what's the criterion to distinguish a miracle from a non-miracle? Like if it's just like the type of event that's like I drop an apple on the floor and it falls, like it just seems like there are no miracles then.
Well, I mean, like I said, I don't have a position or like that's not what I was like I said I don't have my thoughts put together in such a way that I could start to talk about that. So and
what does ancillarily mean? Listen, you goddamn motherfucker.
You started it.
What does ancillarily mean?
You're ancillary.
Fuck you, Shamos said it. He wouldn't tell me what it means. You talk to Shamos, you know what it means.
Because he's one.
He's
That's
a
why-
motherfucker.
Well, there you go. That's what it's for.
What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense in the context he used it in the sentence.
That's your.
No comprehend it.
Yeah. Also, good job.
You're a rude cunt.
Well, takes one to know one, fucker.
Why won't anyone tell me what this fucking word means?
See what's the criterion? Like, how could there be a criterion if you're saying it's explained fully within naturalistic terms?
It's not explained fully within the idea is that, from what I remember of the paper, is that God himself is the one that initiated or ordained or whatever the GRW hit, and it's not the case that naturally through the course, hands off, that the balls were put into motion and these things just happen. God is the one that initiated those GRW hits, and so it's the point is that at least that's the point where God has a hand in. Now, as far as the explanation, competing with naturalistic and stuff, I don't really have a stake in that. But I was just saying, like, if you had a problem with squaring the existence of both, I got a paper and I could give it to you.
Well,
I don't know if it's on.
Right?
I don't know if it's on this phone. Let me check real quick if it's on this phone. It's a really interesting paper, and in fact, see what happens is it actually has a really interesting article. I think it's an Oxford philosophy journal, and it had an interesting paper about skeptical theism on it that might be of use to you too. And then the paper preceding it is the one that I'm talking about now. And I downloaded it just to read. There's a philosopher called Hud Hudson, and he's pretty smart Christian philosopher. I think he's Catholic, I don't know. But I was reading it because I wanted to know what his thoughts are on the Pandora's box objection to skeptical theism. And it's called, the paper I think is called The Father of Lies by Hud Hudson. And then, but anyways, let me see. Hold on, I'm gonna Google it real quick. Not Google it, search my phone to see if I have it.
Okay.
By the way, have you guys listened to that Atheist Experience video with Catholic Traditionalist calling it? It's the most recent one.
Oh.
It was hilarious. Catholic, are you there? Traditionalist?
How did the discussion go?
Basically, he started having a conversation with Matt, and Matt shut him down really hard. And then instead of like trying to shut down Matt and argue against him, he just started asking why Matt doesn't allow Darthon. And then Matt was like, "So did you come on here to just suck my dick, or are you gonna make a conversation?" And then like, Catholic got really upset, and then Matt was like, I don't understand. So are you gonna get your soy boy Darth? Like, he goes, I have much more influential people that are, I'm actually speaking with, not your soy boy Darth. And then like, he said another curse word, and Catholic fucked off and was like, just hung up on himself. Matt didn't even hang up on him. It was hilarious.
Oh, shit. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's great. I'll link it.
Matt is such a coward, he hangs up on everyone.
You atheist reprobates would get a laugh.
Catholic, that was hilarious. You know it was.
But the fact of the matter is, if you listen to his answers to my questions, you see that he contradicted himself. He said that he knew that he was speaking to me. And then when I said, "Oh, because he knew at that point that I boxed him in. So he immediately attempted to backpedal and said he did not know that he was speaking to me. So it just shows the disingenuousness and the ridiculousness of the atheistic position.
Catholic, you're one of the
Maybe you
few
can-
people that have hung up on themselves on the atheist experience. So I don't know. It didn't seem to me like you were presenting many good arguments. You just kept saying, "Why won't you let Darth on? Why won't you let?"
Oh,
Darth
that's
on?"
another
Like,
thing.
it's
He also
brutal.
lied about. He also lied about Darkins. He said that he's debated him before
said he's called in
on the
before.
atheist experience. No, he's never answered his calls, not once.
That's because he called in and talked reading before. So
No. Matt said that he engaged with Darth. He lied. Yeah, he lied. He
It's just
outright
like-
lied.
I don't think
regardless
it's
of
very
what it was,
interesting.
Catholic, though, it seemed like you were extremely underprepared, and then you just kind of like fucked off. It was kind of funny.
No, the guy wasn't answering my questions. It was just stupid answers that he was giving. That wasn't true answers.
I love the description. I love the description in that video where it's just like this guy called in for somebody else. Call back if you ever want to have an actual conversation, buddy.
Yeah, but it just goes to show that atheists, they don't stand on truth. One second he knows that he's speaking to me, the next he doesn't.
Well, maybe
I mean,
we
I
should,
can
like,
link the
start with
video if you guys want, and then you guys can watch it yourself and make a determination.
I've seen
Maybe Catholic traditionalists can tell us what the argument is.
Can you?
Dillahunty's all smoke and mirrors. It's like a fake
Oh, no.
conversation show.
When Catholic traditionalists, what is the argument like you ran on, Matt?
Yeah, it's the logic argument that I always use with you guys, and you always fail. So
Oh, I see. Well, you could run it on me.
Catholic, I have never seen anybody bail on you. It's usually you start talking about the Shroud of Turin, and someone BTFOs you on it, and then you get upset and you leave on your own.
no, I always win on that argument
Keep
too.
the conversation with you. You always,
Yeah, because I
always
actually have the peer-reviewed evidence. So
you always put your hands up like a Down syndrome at a martial
well,
arts.
in fact,
And
I
then
see
you yelled
I see your hero, Jason Lee Scott, Jack Inkstrike. Is that who it is? He's in here. Why isn't he speaking up? I mean, I could box him in too.
Who's hero?
Dillahunty looks like he's afraid of exercise.
Yeah, he's our hero.
Catholic, the problem is with you, right, is that everyone recognizes at this point that when you're not winning, you throw your hands up anyways and you claim that
Well, I
you're
did
winning.
win.
And then,
No,
wait
no,
one second.
no, I
Excuse me,
did
I'm
win.
Still talking.
No, I
Still
did win.
Still talking.
I
Can you
always
say the
win.
thing,
Okay,
the
okay,
thing
I'm
about the
gonna
Down
keep
syndrome at the
one
martial arts
second.
competition
What
again?
you-
That was really
Wait
funny.
1 second. What you often do, and I'm on mute right now, but what you often do is you'll make an argument that's not a good argument, and then you'll
Okay, you're
you'll
breaking
say-
up. I can't
you'll
make
say-
out what you're saying. Repeat
Okay.
what you just said.
What I said is you'll make an argument, you'll claim that you're winning, and then you'll just leave. You've done it like 6 times with me over the Shroud of Turin. Anytime someone brings up evidence that contradicts what you're saying, you just leave. And I felt like that's
Right,
what you
like
did on
Charlie
Maxwell
Sheen
as
said,
well.
I'm winning. Yeah, I always win. Yeah. So the fact of the
Jeez.
matter is, I could box you in too. Now, where's Jack Inkstrike? Where's your hero, Jack Inkstrike? Why is he so quiet?
I mean, I don't know who Jack Inkstrike
Quiet about
is.
what?
He's not my hero, but
Yeah, that's the guy just below you, Jason Lee Scott.
okay.
I mean, everybody talks about this guy like he'll
Talking about this
demolish
guy?
Darth or demolish any theists. So
I don't know who
why
this
isn't he
is.
speaking up?
Can
I
you
feel like
Catholic?
most people
Catholic, hold on,
follow
hold on,
Darth,
wait, hold
so
on.
I don't feel like that's.
He's
I don't
here.
think Darth has quite the grasp on his
Gunslinger, hold
loss that everyone thinks he does.
You know, Jason Lee Scott is talking. He was talking. He was just quiet. Go ahead, Jason.
Well, that's why all you guys lose the debates against him. You can't win debates against him.
Jack Inkstrike survived.
Yeah, I think this is like really boring.
And that's
so maybe
also
you should, like,
why Matt Dillahunty is afraid to take Darth's call.
I
You
think
do
this is,
realize
like, really
that
boring,
Matt
so maybe you
argues
should like
against,
talk
like-
to some like theists.
You do realize that
Maybe you
Matt
should look
actually
for some
talks to
atheists.
people that are like prominent within the field, right? Like, you do know that Darth
No, he
is
doesn't.
just some internet kind of sensation that doesn't really present good arguments, but people just watch it for, to watch the car wreck. It's just like they want to see him get angry. No one actually goes online to talk to Darth because Darth is a good conversation or is smart within his field. It's not the case.
I mean,
Okay.
not many people think
Alright.
that. To be
That's
smart.
nice. Okay, so Jack, are you there, Jack? Jack Ings. Who's making all that noise?
Sasha, yeah, if you could just mute your mic.
No, that's
while
not
you're-
me.
The thing I like
oh.
about Darth
It's
is
dog.
Darth Dawkins transcends narcissism.
Oh, Shamos is Mike. Yeah, Shamos, you can put yourself on push to talk when you're moving around.
Sorry. What's that?
It's okay.
Yeah, but I'm really interested in what Catholic traditionalist argument is. I don't know. I'd be like happy to hear it.
You never heard it? I'm surprised you haven't heard it.
Oh God, please no.
Well, it's actually Matt Slick's argument, but it's a good argument.
Oh, Matt Slick is a favorite of mine, actually. Matt Slick is a favorite of mine. One time he didn't run from me, from an objection he could answer, but just chose not to.
Yeah, because I saw the argument that Matt put forth in a debate that he had. It was with a college professor, and there was a bunch of college students.
Oh, I love these people. They're like, one time this guy on the internet was wrong about something, and then like they remember it for years. Holy shit.
How does it do that?
Well, I could get all of you any one of you atheists to admit it.
Yeah, just you can.
In fact, I might try calling back
to
the atheist experience today, but I doubt they'll take my call.
I thought you could just run it on me, right? Like.
Now, who is speaking? I don't see the green around your name.
It's me, Sasha. It's me, Sasha.
Oh yeah, I did that on you already. Don't you remember? I boxed you in and totally destroyed you.
Jesus, Catholic, then do it again. Show everyone how big you are.
Show us your power.
Well, I'll do it with Gunslinger. Let's see. Or I do it with Jack. If Jack's here, Jack Angstrike. Everybody talks about him like he's.
Who the fuck is this random Jew you keep talking about?
Yeah, the guy that says Jason. His name is Jason Lee Scott.
I don't know who that is. Stop talking about them. It's boring.
Well, yeah, he's in here right now, and everybody talks.
They're obviously
about him
not fucking saying anything.
Yeah, why won't you just talk to me? It just
like
sounds
he's the
like
best atheist of all time, the best atheist apologist.
Why are you cucking this random Jew? Shut up.
Yeah, why are you cucking so hard, you're Catholic? You were sucking this guy's cock so hard.
Okay, now if you're gonna speak like that, I'm a Christian. You need to respect me if you're gonna and not use that kind of language. Okay, I'm out of here.
Guys, he won. He won the conversation, by the way. That was a win for Catholic traditionalists. Someone mark it. That was a win.
What a convenient excuse to run away.
Cock, I have to leave now.
He's undefeated.
If you say wiener, he has to leave, but that also means he wins.
Wait, did he leave the server?
So is that Jack person in here, or was he just?
Yeah, the king of all atheists.
You know who that guy reminds me of? He's like the Charlie Zelnoff of debates. That's
yes. Oh my God, I've watched so many videos of Charlie Zelnoff. Yes. You guys know
that's
who that
a great analogy. Great analogy.
Charlie Zelnoff, for any of the guys that don't know here, he's this really crazy schizophrenic guy that he's probably like 25, maybe 28. And he claims he's the greatest boxer of all time and has like 200 knockouts. And what he'll do is like, he'll walk into like he's this little skinny, drugged out looking meth head. He'll walk into like.
They're talking about Charlie Zelenoff now, you motherfucker.
You talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you.
What are you talking to me about? What?
I'm in a Discord server called Veritas, and Shamos is in there. He brought up Charlie Zelenoff. What the fuck?
Are you Val? You sound just like Valkyrie.
You have no idea what's going on.
Well, you sound like Claire's girlfriend.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
Gonna laugh at me. Gonna.
Yeah,
I've only seen the one where he gets turned over.
Girl, take it easy. I he's busy with him, Dizzy and young dad. You're too young to last with your pretty young girl. I let you know what you're feeling. When you have to this way. Come on, chill out. You ain't got the answers. I'm actually you ain't been doing the education. I've been doing this more than you. I've been doing this more than you.
Infamous niggas.
He ever put his hands up like, I mean, he did put his hands in front of him like, yo, stop, yo, it's over, blah, blah, stuff before, but that's not like the way that you take a loss in boxing or whatever. You like put your knee down and you just say, you like, or you like tap your chest.
It might.
It was gay. What the fuck? So weird.
SoundCloud. First on Funk Music and more.
Straight possess shit. I do the best I can.
Well, I bet you'd stick your head in fire if I told you you could see hell. Meanwhile, you're too stupid to realize you got a demon sticking out your ass singing, "Holy Miss Moly, got me alive." Terminated.
man, what the fuck is this, man? Drop this shit.
If you got some chronic right now, smoke, do a set, go and break a bitch. Make no money, make it deep. If you got deep, well, smoke a sack of me. Niggas down with me, never ever cross out the niggas down with me, never ever cross out the shout at them. Getting on the block with the family, smoking, choking, hoping better bitch. Good conversation coming on the real, pockets feel, cause we coming on the real. Coming on the real, pockets feel, cause we coming on the real. Coming on the real, pockets feel, cause we coming on the real. Coming on the real, pockets feel, cause we coming on the real. Pick us down, shout at them. Getting on the block with the family, shout at them. Getting on the block with the biggest down. Biggest down. Biggest down.
I feel chopped and screwed right now. Oh no.
Biggest down. Biggest down.
Sit back. Fucked up with a nigga, man, cause you know, man, South shit, you know what I'm talking about? To the world, I was sorry, ain't the hell, so reaching my nail and stuff, can't tell me, niggas, they got me up on the rest of them, like, yeah, on that style, the cloud, I'm back and sorry, ain't me, why you get me, checking your bitch, because you let them
So high.
If your shit ain't phenomenal, you ain't in there, you know what I'm saying? So your shit must be fat. You know what I'm saying, Tom?
somewhat of a for the Trinity, but I thought that he may have presented an argument about how if there's a God, that God must be a triune being.
Well, maybe it should, so
if it's all loving, that would explain, like, he has a son, something like that. I don't know. But I don't understand how is God all loving when, if you read the Bible in Jeremiah, he said that he sent evil to people. So why would God, if it's all loving, send evil to people? If God is all good.
The way I see it, he loves us, so he gave us free will and freedom, and then we created evil as humans. That's what we're about.
Okay, but if you read the Bible, the book of Jeremiah, it says that God actually sends evil to people. God himself sends evil to people. In Jeremiah, I forgot exactly which chapter and verse, but if you read that book, there are many verses where it says that God sends evil to people to punish people. Like literally, it says God sent evil to those people. So if God is all good, why is he even sending evil?
If he was evil, why wouldn't he just make us obedient robot slaves? Why would he give us free will in the first place?
No, it's not that he's evil, but he's not all good. Like he's like good and evil. I don't know. I don't know. Like,
where does evil come from in Christian worldview?
God, I guess, because God is, like Darth says, God is the necessary precondition for all facts. So evil is a fact, therefore God is necessary precondition for evil.
Yeah, I don't like the way Darth phrases it. I think it makes it confusing. But it's basically, I think he's the transcendental argument where for transcendental things in the universe to exist, which no one, I mean, I'm sure we all agree things like time exist, which would be transcendental, and that requires something like a mind. So Darth is basically making the argument that the universe requires a mind and intelligence to it for things like, facts to be facts, for the laws of logic, for time to exist, anything that's transcendent, any abstract transcendental quality in the universe to exist, there has to be a God of some sort.
William Lane Craig doesn't hold to transcendental argument at all.
Well, how can time exist without something like a mind or intelligence?
What is time? We don't even have the correct definition.
No one asked me, I know what it is. If I wish to explain it to him who asks, I do not know.
I used to think that time is like the fourth dimension, and I used to hold to general relativity, but then I looked it up. There is actually nobody actually knows what is time for sure.
Yeah, we don't know what causes gravity either, so still think gravity's a thing.
We just know that it exists, but we don't know what it is.
But like the past doesn't exist, The past isn't something you can empirically experience, but past only exists in our minds, really. It's not a part of the physical universe. So it follows that for their universe to have a past, it has to have a mind. That's the argument Darth makes, but the way he like phrases it, I think it's really confusing and hard to understand.
I can understand his arguments. He uses a transcendental argument and the argument for contingency. He doesn't use the cosmological argument, only like transcendental and argument from contingency. But he puts it in a different way. He doesn't say like there must be something contingent, blah blah blah. He just says like if you don't believe in the personal absolute, then you must believe that there's an impersonal absolute. He just attacks you instead of presenting an argument.
I came in just now and I'm going to guess Darth Dawkins.
Yeah, like usually this argument is presented like every contingent fact has an explanation. There must be a fact that explains all the other contingent facts, and that fact must involve a necessary being. Actually, I forgot how exactly it goes, but this is how you present that argument. But he doesn't present it. He just attacks. He just says like, if you don't believe that there's a personal absolute, you must believe that there's an impersonal absolute that is the ground of all dependent states. And if you say that you don't believe, like I've heard people saying, well, I don't believe that there's an absolute, then he asks you, like, what about the laws of nature? And what about the laws of logic? And stuff like that.
I wonder if I had the best time with this.
Or maybe he changed his script now.
Or he
Maybe
just
it's
asked the
different.
question, is that an absolute statement?
Sorry?
You just asked them, is that an absolute statement?
Yeah, I never actually had a debate with him, so I don't know exactly what to ask him.
If it's not an absolute statement, then the opposite of what they say could be just as true.
Hey, man, how are you?
Oh, hey, man. You remember me? Why don't you make me a double espresso macchiato with extra foam?
You got it.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
We started falling.
All right, man. Now look, check it. It's simple. See this? This the kingpin, all right? He the man. You get the other dude's king, you got the game. And he trying to get your king too, so you gotta protect him. So how do you get to be the king? It ain't like that. See, the king, stay the king.
If it ain't one thing, it's a motherfucking dollar. Trapped together, then that's my motherfucking brother. I pay her bills and bound designer, but I don't love her. She just play a part when it's time to smuggle. I pull up, pick up that bag and burn rust. I got the sweet tooth, but I stay away from suckers. No boo and Malibu was my last sucker. I fucked her in rush hour traffic, Chris Tucker. Everybody screaming, gang, gang, gang. The first come and get you, you gon' tell on the whole gang, gang. She said, can she fuck me with my diamond shine? If I ain't in the bank, then I'm on the plane. About to go get some money or go spend some money. They stopped me in the airport, had too many bitches on me. They don't want you to live, they don't want you to fall. The pussy smile on your face, then they pray for you to fall. Hey, young niggas stay focused, but I really wanna crash. Think about where you at, then think about your past. Yeah, I really came from shit, but I won't change for shit. My bitch say I'm stuck in my ways, my wrist say I can get paid. 100 shots, 100 shots. Me and my nigga pull up in 100 drops. My role model used to get 100 blocks. Street niggas in a tuxedo, we the mob. She looked at my watch too long, now she see stars. I got so high last night, I did a show on Mars. Yo, bitch ate my dick, I come up on them bars. My pinky ring, extra large. Boys all in the garage. Remember my first Menard? Yeah, Toy and Bridget. I'm shopping for diamonds and Tiffany's. Nah, I don't got no sympathy. She blew my whistle like a referee. Broke black nigga, remember me? Until I found out that recipe. Started getting about 10 a week. Finger on the trigger when I sleep. Yeah, nigga, I'd rather you than me. Backseat smoking good weed. 100 shots, 100 shots. How the fuck you miss a whole 100 shots? You not welcome in my trap if you don't shop. Before you come through that back door, you better knock. They been waiting on this gangsta shit to drop. Even them fuck niggas that wish I could be stopped. prince that the keeping has arrived. If I looked over here, I probably have 100 wives. Walking in the club and they like Gucci just arrived. I ordered up a double, then I threw it in the sky. I told her on my eye, now she look like she surprised. She look like a model, but a devil in disguise. All these